I do apologize.
First of all, I'd like to welcome everyone here. We got a packed house. Karen knows how to bring the people out, I'll tell you that. I'd also like to welcome Governor Parsons and all of our officials here today. It's a great pleasure and honor. And at this time, I'd like to introduce our 12th District Senator, Daniel J. Hagman.
Good morning. I am Dan Hagman, your 12th District State Senator for this, what I like to call the Great Northwest part of the state. It is an honor to have the governor here today, and the governor is really focused on infrastructure improvements here, and that's some of what we're talking today, whether it be broadband, water, or roads. You know, I really appreciate the governor's focus on workforce development and infrastructure improvements. And with that, I would like for us all to welcome our governor, Governor Mike Parsons, to the city of Cameron.
Some of the reasons we're here today is because of those factors, and you know, one thing I'm really proud about. I know we got the representatives and the senator here, the work they're doing in Jeff City, and the work they're doing for this area. And it's times like this that I get to go out and meet people like you today. But really, more importantly, that we're working together, the cities, and counties, and the state. Long time overdue. We try to work together and make sure we're doing the take care of our citizens out here, and that's important to me. And Dan mentioned the fact about infrastructure and workforce development, two of the key things that we're going to do at the governor's office. And this right here is part of that infrastructure. You know, once we start talking about water, we start talking about utilities, we start talking about broadband. You know, it's not always about highways and potholes and things like that. We talk about infrastructure, so it's important to us. And, you know, I'm just glad to be here today. I wish I were here for better circumstances, but unfortunately, 98% of the state is feeling the drought. And what we're dealing with, we're trying to figure out what we can do from a state agency. But I also think it's important to point out that, you know, for most of us been around a little while, Mother Nature takes its course from time to time in our state, and how we live is just part of it. Sometimes we're going to have drought, sometimes we're going to have ice storms, sometimes we're going to have tough winters. One thing I do know, Missourians have always persevered, and we move on and we make it through it. And the way we'll make it through it on this time is, again, what I said earlier, working together, making sure we're doing the right thing, and do what we can. You know, because we can't do everything, but we're here as government. We should be here as a tool for your toolbox. Not give you the whole box, but give you the tools you need to be successful. And that's what the mayor. That's what we plan on doing in these cities, these small towns up here, to say the least. So I'm happy to be here today to announce more than $77,000 in state funding has been awarded to help the city of Cameron and Caldwell Public Water District No. 2 to maintain adequate drinking water for their citizens. Cameron will receive a $50,000 emergency drought assistance grant, and this will allow the construction of approximately 3 miles of temporary above-ground emergency piping to increase its water supply. Caldwell County Public Water Supply District No. 2 will receive $27,380 in emergency drought assistance grant, and this will allow the construction of a temporary emergency connection to increase its water supply. Missourians in this part of the state have been affected by the drought, and we are currently experiencing. In response to my executive order issued in July, the Missouri Department of Natural Resources made emergency funding available. Drought-impacted small communities will be able to maintain an adequate supply of drinking water. And I'm announcing the first two awards today. One to the City of Cameron for $50,000 grant for Cameron. We'll fund 3 miles of temporary above-ground emergency piping with special permission from the Missouri Department of Conservation. Water will then be pumped from the Pony Express Lake. This will allow more than 1 million gallons per day to be pumped to Grindstone Reservoir, the city's largest drinking water source. As of August the 20th, the city's reservoirs were down to 38% of its capacity, 38%, with only 167 days of water supply remaining. Needless to say, that becomes a serious situation real quick, because we all know it's been around a little while. 167 days will go by in the blink of an eye if you're not careful on that. The city serves a population of 9,933, and it also sells water to Clinton County Public Water System District Number 3, serving a population of 3,410. The total project cost is $484,526. The remainder of that project will be financed with availabilities of city funds. And I just want to say this, when it says it's going to be funded by city funds, the rest of it, that means somebody in this town, in this city, that is taking care of the finances. And here we are today when now we really need them if that money's there. That is important to remember down the road, to have that available in times of need, in times of emergency. So my hat's off to the people of this town that was prepared for that. The project is currently under construction and is expected to be completed and operational by September the 1st. Caldwell County Public Water Supply District Number 2. This $27,380 grant will fund construction of a temporary emergency connection with Davies Public Water Supply District Number 2. This will provide more than 30,000 gallons per day until a permanent connection can be constructed. It will also ease the demand of the City of Hamilton City Reserve, the only water provider to the Caldwell District. And this district serves a population of 875. The City of Hamilton's reserve is down 6 feet. City officials are concerned about maintaining water services for that area. I do want to tell you this. We're reading through some of my notes coming down here, and we was talking about small towns. I think it's important for you to know where I grew up. And the population of the town that I grew up, where my family was from, was a town of 367 people. So nobody knows any better about small Missouri life, small towns in this state, than what I do, because that's how I grew up in these areas. And how important water, sewer, just the normal utilities every day is in these small areas. And it's tough sometimes when you're small communities to have all that. But again, I'm thankful we have them. I'm thankful we're here today to be able to help. And the DNR continues to work closely with funding partners such as Missouri DED and the U.S. Department of Agriculture and the Rural Development to assist Missouri public water systems with critical drought impacts in drought-alert areas. Communities in North Missouri are pulling together in this crisis to help one another through emergency connections. The collaboration among communities, consulting engineers, agency partners, as we evaluate a potential project is impressive and inspiring. The state of Missouri is committed to helping communities to get the assistance to continue providing safe drinking water for all Missourians. I want to tell you, with the drought situation come about, and I asked the directors to get together, the state agencies, all of them come together to work together and say, okay, how can we find a solution? What can we do to help people out here hurting in this drought situation? For no longer than I have been governor, I have totally been so impressed with the directors of the state of Missouri. And when I asked them to pull together, to work together, to come up with some solutions across Missouri, they all done that. They all work together, they come up with programs, and as we go up throughout the day, you're going to see DNR, the Department of Agriculture, Department of Conservation, all coming together to try to do their part to help the citizens of this state. And one of those directors that is part of that team to come up with that is here with you today. that's done an outstanding job for the people of the state of Missouri. Very proud to have her in my cabinet, and I would like to introduce Director Carol Comer, the Director of the Department of Natural Resources. Carol?
Thank you, sir. Good morning. It's an honor to be here today, and I am very proud to be able to help out the city of Cameron, the county of Caldwell. These are the things that we like to do as an agency. These are the things that we exist for. These are the things that get us up in the morning and get us into the office. We've had a little relief from rain, but 22% of the state is still in extreme or exceptional drought. And this is ground zero for that drought right here. As the governor indicated, citizens and the drinking water supplies have been severely impacted in this area. And in response to his executive order in July, the Missouri Department of Natural Resources made emergency funding available for construction projects to ensure that drought-stricken small communities are able to maintain an adequate supply of drinking water for all their citizens. Public water systems that serve fewer than 10,000 people and are located within a drought alert area with critical water system needs can apply for grants and low-interest loans through the agency. We received 16 applications for funding, and we'll be looking at making grant and loan awards over the next several weeks to many of those eligible projects. Cameron and Caldwell County Public Water Supply District Number 2 are our first two awards. The department is awarded $50,000 to the city of Cameron and $27,380 to the Caldwell County. We will continue to work closely with our funding partners, including the Missouri Department of Economic Development and the U.S. Department of Agriculture and Rural Development, to assist Missouri's public water systems in drought alert areas. And while this emergency program is intended to address short-term issues presented by the drought, the Department of Natural Resources is looking at solutions to communities' long-term needs. We are committed to assisting communities with critical supply issues to ensure they can continue to provide safe drinking water to all their customers for generations to come. We are in the midst of a comprehensive look at our water needs. The Missouri State Water Plan forecasts out 50 years to determine how we address gaps in Missouri's water needs and uses. Our goal is to develop long-term solutions where water availability may be a limiting factor on economic development. We have a team of committed people working together to ensure Missourians have adequate water to meet their needs moving into the future. It's my honor to assist you in this. We're looking forward to working closely with you. And while we can't solve this drought, we're happy to be part of the solution. And I just ask that you pray for rain.
Amen.
Next, we're going to move on, and we're going to have a few comments from our city officials. Up first is going to be our Councilman Dennis Clark from Cameron.
Our water levels have reached critical levels. These state grants will be helpful in assisting the transfer of water from Pony Express Lake. I want to thank Governor Parson, the Department of Natural Resources, and Department of Conservation for stepping in and helping us at such a crucial time. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next, we'll have the Hamilton city official, Jean Van Eikeren, the Hamilton city manager.
As it was said earlier, Hamilton is 72 inches down. For our residents, that's huge. When we made an emergency connection during the last drought in 2012, and at the time, our administrator and our administration thought that that was going to be an adequate fix for us long-term. But then we experienced huge growth in the city due to Missouri Star Quilt and the growth that they've experienced. And so Hamilton, we're looking at trying to prepare even more for the future. The grant that was awarded to Caldwell will definitely help ease our supply needs, but it's probably not going to be enough, and that's why Hamilton has put in a grant application too, and I'm hoping in the next round, maybe, you know, you can announce that we got that funding too. But Hamilton really needs to look for something long-term, because our growth, we hope, will not stagnate where we are now. And with that, we need to either look at increasing the size of our lake, or hopefully the state will help fund the Little Otter Creek project, which would then, you know, provide water to pretty much all of Caldwell County. So it's something that the community is still looking at. If we don't have Little Otter Creek in the very near future, we will probably be having to look at a more permanent solution for Hamilton. Our infrastructure's aging, and we probably won't want to put money into our facilities, our water plant, and that type of thing on a lake that's not going to provide enough water for our community to survive. So those are some of the issues that we're facing right now as a community. And we do truly appreciate the help that we've gotten from the Missouri Department of Natural Resources and even from the state. You guys have been wonderful. Keep it up. It's been fantastic. Thank you.
Next, we'll have the County Water Commission, CR Bud Lotzinger, Caldwell County, presiding commissioner.
Appreciate the governor being here, and we appreciate all the people being here, showing their interest, but also support as well. First, we do want to thank the governor. This last year, they did go ahead and approve $2 million from the state toward the construction of Little Otter Creek. We've been in the practice of trying to get Little Otter Creek reservoir or lake established. The citizens of Caldwell County voted in a 1/2-cent sales tax in 2004. We've been going through all the permitting, the processing, and all that. We received over $8 million from federal funds. We just recently received another $5.6 million of federal funds, but we need the state to match that, because we can only go 58% of the funding of the lake can come from federal. The other 42% has to come from state and local. And the citizens of Caldwell County, like I said, they had the 1/2-cent sales tax. The federal government has really pumped in and put in theirs, but we've got to have the state funding in order to do it. So we do appreciate Governor signing $2 million this last year. We will be going back for another around $3 million this year to help match that 42% that we need, and we appreciate the support. Appreciate the support of all the different agencies too. DNR, all of them have worked very closely. All of our legislators for the last 3 to 4 years have worked as far as getting that passed and up to the governor's desk. The main thing that we have that's holding us from building a lake right now is getting the permit from the Corps of Engineers. That's the main thing that's holding it. And so we wish we already had that behind us, but they have to answer to all the environmental groups and follow, dot every I and cross every T. So we know that. That is what process we're working on now. But we do appreciate all the support that we've had.
Commissioner, I've got to give credit where credit's due here, but your senator and your reps up here dogged me enough, I didn't have much choice of signing that. Anyhow, they did a great job on that, and that was on their radar the whole time, and they were in my ear on that. So credit due to them.
We appreciate
for
it.
helping, but I was more than happy to sign.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
But it is a 350-acre lake. It will be about 2 miles east of Hamilton. It will back water up to Highway 36 and then 2 miles south. And it will be used primarily for drinking water, but will also have the benefits of recreation and flood control as well. So we do appreciate it very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Now I have an update from Missouri Department of Conservation, Aaron Jeffries.
Good morning, Governor. Thanks for the opportunity. I want to say, I think what you're stressing here is the value of partnerships. And when times get tough like we have right now, those partnerships really shine and Missouri gets it done. Right now, the department stands ready to help the city of Cameron with water supply. Most of the year, Pony Express Lake is there for the enjoyment of hunting and fishing, but now it's going to be the city's water supply and help you through some really difficult times. Also, we have 28 lakes, primarily in North Missouri and Southwest Missouri, that are available for cattlemen in need of water. We'll see some of that today, as we have 2 farmers that I understand that will be pumping water out of Buffalo Bill Lake up in the 45-acre lake on Pony Express Conservation Area. Different than the drought in 2012, we haven't experienced the wildfires like we have in the past, so we've been very fortunate, knock on wood. The department there, we work with about 800 rural fire departments across Missouri, and we've been able to provide over the years about $80 million in excess equipment, from pumps to trucks, just to help with wildfire suppression. So thanks again. I look forward to the tour this morning.
Next up, we're going to have an update from the representatives Neely and Eggleston and Senator Harrison on state initiatives.
Good morning. Appreciate everyone being here, and certainly the Little Otter Creek project was the top priority when I was elected in 2012. And I think my name changed from Neely to Little Otter Creek. Every time they look at me, they kind of duck their head because they knew I was going to talk about Little Otter Creek. So I'm going to see the governor and sign that, and I'm going to frame that budget bill that he signed. So other issues that change the subject maybe a little bit, but in my world, Medicaid and all, and so we continue to worry about how that's being provided to the citizens and those that need. You know, in certain roads, I have my little road that I travel daily, and it needs some attention. So as the governor said, it's about partnerships, and we have good people. It's an honor to represent you all and the citizens of Clinton, Caldwell, Parson, Lake County. So thank you all.
Good morning, everyone. I'm on the way over here. I was thinking of the story of Noah and how it rained for 40 days and 40 nights, and we've kind of had the opposite really over the last several months. Prior to the little showers that we had last week, it had been well more than 40 days and 40 nights where we had any significant rain. Memory serves right, going back to April. And so that's led us where we're at now. The drought can be ranked in a system anywhere from D0 to D4. We've been D3 in this area for a long time, and I think we just got bumped up to D4. The core of that, the heart of that D4 area is Davies County and a little bit of Baldwin. So this relief that you're bringing comes at the right time. I got to thank you for coming up, Governor, and providing us not only this temporary help, but also the long-term focus on Little Otter Creek and other projects to help us out here. And just in general, having someone in Jefferson City in the governor's mansion who has a perspective of what country life and rural living is, and can help us out with all of our issues. So I appreciate that very much. As Representative Neely had mentioned, there are a few other things we're working on too. As most of you know, we have 2 of our 21 Missouri state prisons here in the Cameron area, Crossroads and Western, and we would like to see some things coming up in the next session to try to improve that in general, as far as making things better for those who work there, safer for those who work there. We've had some discussions with both administration and staff, and I think we're coming where we understand those issues a lot better than we did last year, and looking forward to working with the governor's office and with the Senate on having some improvements come to bear next year. I want to thank you again for coming up and helping us out in the Great Northwest. Thank you.
Let me tell you, it has been a great joy to work with the state representatives on some of these infrastructure projects that we've seen all across the state. And Governor, I have to tell you that on Hageman Farm, we ran out our hay this spring. We've been feeding hay all the way through. And our hay crop this year has been very, very strong. Our first cut in alfalfa was like the 4th cut in alfalfa. and very limited. My son Joseph was out there and hay about 10 acres the other day and got 2 bales off of it. Now, I don't know if that's anything to his ability to bale hay or not. Good. You know, it has been really great to see the communities come together on these infrastructure projects. You know, working with Randy Railsback and Bud on Little Otter, I've got another big water infrastructure project in Sullivan County called East Locust Creek. They too are very limited on their water, and it's limiting their economic development and growth. That's why I was happy to work with DNR to develop a water resources fund to help the state assist these communities with this. And like you know, Caldwell County, like Sullivan County, like the city of Cameron, you know, the locals have all passed tax increases upon themselves to bring forth some longer-term solutions to these things. A lot of assistance from the federal government. Appreciate the federal delegation here and all their support on that. See Director Case up there. Certainly, rural development has been very instrumental in helping all of these projects. And thank you, Director Case. It's wonderful that you're there. You know, I'm very appreciative we've got a governor that understands the need for rural Missouri in all sorts of infrastructure, but water is crucial to us. You know, the city of Cameron, you recognize that they need more water, and they you know, still continue to work on this great project of bringing this main line water transmission line from St. Joseph, Missouri American, and picking up a couple of communities that I serve on the way. You know, Maysville, Osborne, Stewartsville, going to pick up off of that too, and that will go a long, long way of helping resolve the water issue here. But it takes time. All these water resource projects, they just take a lot of time to get done. I don't know, Bud, how long have you been working on the lake project? Randy, how long have you been working with these projects?
I'm more than 15 to 20 years.
Yeah, 15, 20 years, yeah. And so, but to get the ultimate solution to it, you know, the long-term fix on these things, this is what we need to do. It's great to have leaders recognizing that. Like I say, I applaud the city of Cameron recognizing that that was an effort, you know, to solve your solution. Folks in Caldwell County, folks in, you know, Sullivan County. And these are regional systems too, Governor. That's what's even better about it. It just doesn't serve the city of Cameron. It just doesn't serve the city of Hamilton. It doesn't serve just the city of Milan. They serve multiple counties and multiple districts around there. I am a big supporter of these regional water systems so we can come together, share the expensive costs of trying to run a water system, and have plentiful resources out there. This is what it's all about. That's what's great about Northwest Missouri and our communities up here. We're learning and have been working together for some time, and it's a joy to be your state senator down in Jefferson City to help with that. And Governor, thank you for your support and continued support.
Thank you.
We have some limited time here, but we will take a few questions if you have any. So if you do, feel free to stand and.
Mayor, before you start that, a group that I did mention earlier in my earlier remarks, if I may. First of all, I want to thank everyone for coming today. What an awesome crowd here today, but more importantly, you all come out to show concern for your neighbors, the people in these communities, these districts, these counties. I'm telling you, small town Missouri is alive and well because you people are here today because you care what goes on. And it's very impressive, I'm telling you, from sitting up here and for all of us here. The other ones I want to mention is some of these young people over here to the side today for being out here and to learning, to be here to learn about government to a certain degree and what you can do to work together. I think this is a great day for you to pick up some tips on what it does mean to have build relationships with cities and counties and state that we can work together. So I appreciate you guys being out here. I hope you're not skipping school. But if you are, you tell the governor said it's okay. The other thing, I think there's a couple of reporters in that bunch over there, so these journalists are going to be asking me some questions today or something, so you better have your A game on when you come up and start asking me questions today. things that Dan just talked about, he talked about people who've been working on things for 15, 20 years. We cannot keep kicking the can down the road for the state of Missouri. At some point, we got to face the fact that we have to do something for infrastructure in the state of Missouri. That's going to be very important to me. Nobody wants to be out in front of any kind of increase when it comes to taking. Somebody have to pay a little bit more to get more services. But the reality of it is, if you want Missouri to go forward, if you want it to grow forward, we're going to have to kind of think outside the box. And I do believe we're going to have to do something for our highways in the state, for our airports, for our ports, for our utilities, for our water, for our sewers, go all the way down to infrastructure. But you will be the ones to decide in November whether you want to move forward on some of those things or not. But I think it's important for us all to look at that, to understand those issues, and understand how important they are for Missouri to make your decisions, which way you go. So that's important. And questions now?
Don't be shy. Come on up.
Great Spanks with the tank. The hay crop is down 1/3 from average. How can that impact the farmers this winter, and how are you going to have that?
Well, and I'll let some of the rest of them answer that too, but for me, you just described my hay crop. All the hay we put up this year, we put up 500-600 big ground bales, and it's about 1/3 off. And that's just pretty well the way it was, and as I talk to farmers across the state, it's going to have a tremendous effect, to be right honest about it, because you know right now, hay is difficult to find, cost is going up, nobody's wanting to sell hay that's sitting here in Missouri, so it makes it very difficult. Depending on what happens this fall, but even when we have good rain, it's going to be very difficult to make that up in a hay crop. So, farmers are going to have to make some decisions. And just like I'm starting to think, okay, am I going to start blowing cows? Am I going to start getting rid of some things to make it through the winter? Am I going to sell those cows at the slaughter price for them to just weigh them up and go? Or do you keep them? I think the decision will have to be made by farmers too. I don't know that there's going to be any programs out there, or there could be, but if you're a farmer, you just can't always depend on it. So it's going to be a tough year for farmers. This way the spring went, last winter went. But I don't think the government's going to have the answer to all the woes of farmers this fall and this winter. And or winter, it's going to be a little tough.
I will say, and the governor is exactly right. We'll have to work through it ourselves as farmers. But I will say that the state has been very good. MoDOT's been good allowing some folks to come in and mow the right-of-ways and capture the hay crop there. The USDA and our federal folks, is there any federal representation in the room? Would you stand to be recognized? Any of the congressmen or the senators' offices be recognized? And who are you with?
Congressman Graves.
Well, really appreciate the congressional delegation working with the USDA to open up some of the conservation CRP ground for haying purposes. Some of us would like to see that open a little earlier, but at least that's still some hay that's out there. So the federal delegation has been great to work with that too. So some of the governmental folks are listening, we're hearing, and doing some things. What we can do.
Director, you want to comment on that too?
Yes, thank you, Governor. We just announced through our Missouri State Parks that we've opened up 16 parks for haying through a lottery system, that those applications can be put in through August, this Saturday. We've already had 300 farmers that have applied to do the hay. Some other programs that are available through DNR, through our soil and water conservation, is the allowance for haying cover crops, which previously had been prohibited. So there is some easing of regulations, like through the NRCS and through Department of Natural Resources, that are available to assist in this time.
And I think to follow up with it, I think there's about 900 acres. Is that right, Carol? About 900 acres. But I think it's also important to mention that that's not going to help everybody. You know, but what you can't help, you help. But, you know, I think that's important for farmers to know that, because, you know, it's always hard to have a program that you can help every farmer that's in this problem. But we can help some, and that's what our job is. So that's what we're doing. So those are sort of, that's a good question, on that. So we're doing the best we can to get that hay out there for people. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Director Case, may I ask if you would like to share any words, you know, what the USDA and rural development is doing to help with some of these projects?
Well, we work with our sister agencies, FSA and RCS as well. We appreciate the partnerships that are shown here today and how they work together with our state partners, the Department of Natural Resources Conservation, and also the Department of Agriculture. We work with all of them, and we've been involved in the drought task force planning there. We do have some water resources that we're trying to utilize for these projects, like you mentioned, like East Locust Creek and Little Water Creek. So we're working, doing what we can, and are involved where we can be. And thank you for being here, Governor.
Thank you.
Well, I think we're gonna conclude this, but before we do, I'd like to thank you on behalf of the city of Cameron and our citizens for choosing us as a recipient of the $50,000 grant. It's a time of great concern in our area with the drought and the restrictions that have been put in place. And it's up front in the minds of citizens and businesses, and our goal is to continue to provide the necessary services to our town. This will help to defray the cost and burden to our city, staff, and citizens, and allow us to move forward in a timely manner.